Hello everyone and Happy New Year! Welcome back to my art channel. For those of you who are new here, my name is Alina and this channel is called Alina vs. Art. It was created to document my art journey because I got this channel as a total art noob. I'm still kind of a noob, but I'm improving every chance I get. In today's video, I'm going to go through my art goals for the year and talk a bit about my 2019. I'll probably talk more about it if I ever decide to do a tour of the sketchbooks I feel this year, but I'm not sure I want to do that. I don't know why. It doesn't feel right, and I think this year I should focus more on things that feel right than things I feel like I need to do because reasons. So we'll see how that goes. Before I go into that, I want to talk about the artworks you see in the background. These are 3 pieces I did for different welcome pages in my bullet journal. The first one is for December. You're seeing me sketching it right now. It's a Christmas wreath, which is heavily inspired by a Shayda Campbell video. She had a tutorial for these, and I drew one that kind of follows and strays from her design, and I kind of changed up the color scheme because I wanted red in it when I used my watercolors. The second piece you'll see is inspired by, well, it's done following a watercolor by Shibasaki tutorial. I changed up the coloring on the hot air balloon and I made it a bit bigger. That's my welcome page for the 2020 yearly bullet journal setup, and I try to stick with things that inspire going up, lifting yourself up, improving for the yearly spreads. The year before I went with a surfer boy going up a wave, and I will link that video in the description because it exists. And this year I went with the hot air balloon going high and surpassing the clouds. And the third piece is the one I used for my January bullet journal setup, and it's a winter wonderland sort of landscape. It's also done following a Shayda Campbell tutorial, and I'll try to link to all the channels I mentioned in the description down below. If I forget, please hold me to it. So now let's talk about 2019 for a bit. I did have some art goals. They were highly unrealistic. They didn't take into account how much of a noob I was. And one of the goals was to draw every day, which was a big mistake. It doesn't work out because I have a pretty busy schedule, and I have a main career as a writer, a fiction writer, which is not something I want to move away from. On the contrary, it keeps requiring more time, so drawing every day is not realistic. So I do not have a draw everyday goal for this year. I do have a goal to well, not a goal, it's more like I have time blocked in to draw as much as I can this year, and that means at least 5 days a week, which I think is quite good, and at least half an hour, preferably an hour for each of those 5 sessions. I also had goals to learn anatomy and learn how to draw manga characters, which I made progress with last year, but they were kind of hefty, and I think I don't realize how difficult a task I set out for myself will be when we're talking art. So yeah, I hope I've gotten better at that. My next goal was to learn how to draw and paint in any digital software. I decided to go with Krita this year, and that was great. I also wanted to complete Inktober, and I kind of did. I didn't do all the 30 pieces, but I had a target to do 15 to achieve my goals for Inktober. I did more than that, so it works out. And I had another goal to complete at least one art challenge where you draw 100 of a certain thing, and I did draw well over 100 hands. I think I was at 200 by the end of the year, and I still haven't finished the book of 100 hands, because it's not the book of 100 hands, there are far more, okay, far more. I'm still salty about that one. Overall, I feel like I did a lot more drawing in 2019 than I did in the year before that. If you want an actual number, I can give it to you. Wait, just let me go to the right year. So I had 171 hours of drawing, of which 37, close to 38 were digital painting. It might not seem like a lot, but you know, if you think these are mostly 30-minute sessions, you'll realize I did quite a few of those during the year. And by the way, this doesn't include any of my cover work, although that's still artistic and it still uses digital tools. I do not count that as drawing. That's separate, so whatever covers I design are not counted toward my art goals, if that makes sense. So this year I do have a few lavish goals, but hopefully I can achieve them all. The first art goal is to focus on figure drawing and anatomy. As you can see, I'm not trying to master it or anything, because I figured out last year it takes a while, but that's my first goal. The second goal is to learn more about manga proportions and manga rules. I feel like if I learn the basic really well and learn how to convert them into specific proportions, then stylizing will become easier, or at least that's what I'm aiming at. My third goal is to learn more about coloring stuff in Krita. I did work a bit on it, but not a lot, and I want to develop this more. The fourth goal I have also pertains to digital art, and it's all about learning how to better do line art digitally. I think I have made some improvements in this direction as well, but I still have a long way to go. My next goal, so the fifth, is to complete the trifecta, and what I'm referring to is Sketchtember, Inktober, and November. So September to November, end of November, I will be doing daily drawing challenges. I'm not sure I want to do 30 pieces. It might be less, it might be something like 15 or 20, but the plan is to sketch these pieces out in September, ink them in October, so for Inktober, and then for November, color them in and use the hues, but not as I did this last year, sorry. I still haven't updated to 2020, but just use like a splash of that color, because it might not exactly work as the color scheme for whatever I'm drawing. There will be a theme to it. I will probably once again try to do my book characters as manga characters. We'll see how that goes. And if I'm, you know, better at doing things than I am now, and I'll be able to do that. And my final goal, which is the sixth, is to reach 500 subscribers on this channel. Honestly, it sounds like a lot. I'm at 86 right now, I think, but at the beginning of last year I had 13 subs, and at the end of it I had 85, 86, something like that. So considering how inconsistent I was and how nothing was ever planned, I'm thinking I could probably do way better this year and maybe achieve this goal. If not, as long as I increase my subscriber count, I won't be upset. But this is a nice round number to be aiming at. So if you feel like helping out with that, please subscribe to my channel, I guess. So yeah, these are my goals, 6 in total. Now that I'm looking at my bullet journal and reading these, I realized I skipped the third one, so it's 1, 2, 4, 5. Never mind, it's fun, but it sounds like a lot and like not enough, but this is just 1/3 of my yearly goals. I also have a lot of author goals, which are quite hefty and tricky. I also have personal goals, and what I'm aiming to do this year is be better about doing stuff for fun and doing stuff for work, and not mixing the two, taking breaks, taking care of myself, and just trying to get a balance that works. I'm also going to focus all the things I consider to be work within my work week and within decent work hours, as tough as that might be, and take the weekends off, like for real. I might film videos and do other fun stuff, but I do want to have a day where I only do things for fun, nothing work related. And what that has to mean for my art is that I probably won't work on things I'm trying to improve during the weekends, and I'll just do stuff for fun, like do acrylic paintings, which I only do for fun, and play with watercolors, but nothing that needs to be done. Like these pieces were done for a specific purpose. I needed them for the bullet journal. No, I just want to play around with colors and give myself permission to do really bad paintings and just have fun with it. So that pretty much sums it up, I think. These are my goals for the year, and I do not have a theme for the year, and that kind of pisses me off. I saw, I think Amanda, I think she was talking about having a theme for the year, and I thought that would be really cool, but I don't have one because this is not how my goal setup functions. But I think I can take the idea from the hot air balloon painting and go with improvement and just lifting myself up, which also includes being nicer to myself, which I'm not. I'm really harsh. I'm probably one of my harshest critics. Now, let's face it, I'm the worst critic I could ever have. Like, I'm so mean to myself, and I'm trying hard not to be. It's not always easy, but well, at some point I have to achieve this. I'm helping myself rather than making things worse just because I feel the need to be mean about what I consider to be a failure. So yeah, we'll see how it goes this year, I guess. In terms of hours, if it all goes according to plan, I will probably have a total of 250 hours of drawing at the end of this, so at the end of 2020. But that's not something I really want to focus on a lot. We'll just see how it goes, and I think, you know, just not putting too much pressure on myself is something that I need to keep an eye on, because I tend to just make things way tenser and more difficult than they should be, just because I can't just relax and figure out nothing is going to go horribly wrong if I don't achieve every single one of my goals. So yeah, that's it. I think that sums up all of my art goals for 2020. Do let me know what you have planned for the year and what you think of my own goals. Obviously, I'd like to hear from you in the comments, and if you find this interesting, like the video and maybe subscribe if you haven't. Like I said, I have a difficult subscriber goal to achieve, so I'll take any help I can get. And I will see you again next week with another video and the Saturday live stream, which will be back in my attempt at being more consistent on this channel. So yeah, see you later. Enjoy what's left of your Sunday and have a lovely new week. Bye!